The hum of machinery filled the air as Alex tightened the last bolt on the faulty life support panel. He wiped the sweat from his brow, leaving a streak of grease across his forehead. Just another day in the life of a lowly technician on Terra 1 space station. Or so it appeared. Alex's eyes darted around the corridor, scanning for any signs of trouble. Old habits died hard. He may have left his past as the notorious bounty hunter Zorak the Devastator behind, but the instincts remained. A commotion at the end of the hall caught his attention. Two security officers were escorting a striking blue-skinned alien woman. Her silver hair cascaded down her back, and her violet eyes darted nervously. "Please, I mean no harm," she pleaded. "I seek only refuge and honest work." The officers paid her no mind, continuing to march her towards the detention area. As they passed Alex, the woman's gaze locked onto his. There was a desperation in her eyes that stirred something in him. Before he could think better of it, Alex called out, "Wait!" The officers halted, eyeing him suspiciously. "What's going on here?" Alex asked, trying to sound casual. "None of your business, grease monkey," the taller officer sneered. "Get back to work." Alex bristled at the insult but kept his cool. "I couldn't help but overhear. If she's looking for work, I could use some help around my quarters. Been meaning to hire a housekeeper." The woman's eyes widened with hope. "Oh yes, I would be happy to serve as your housekeeper. I am a hard worker and learn quickly." The officers exchanged glances. "She's an undocumented alien," the shorter one explained. "No papers, no ID. Protocol says we detain her." Alex shrugged. "I'll vouch for her. Fill out whatever forms you need. I'll take full responsibility." After a moment of hesitation, the officers relented. "Fine. Your problem now. But if there's any trouble—" "There won't be," Alex assured them. As the officers departed, the woman turned to Alex with gratitude shining in her eyes. "Thank you, kind sir. I am Mithril. I promise to work hard and not be a burden." "Alex," he replied gruffly. "Come on, I'll show you to my quarters." As they walked, Alex studied Mithril out of the corner of his eye. There was something off about her story. Her bearing and speech didn't match that of a desperate refugee. And those eyes, they held secrets. Well, he was one to talk about secrets. When they reached his sparse living space, Mithril looked around with thinly veiled disdain. "Oh my, you certainly do need help with housekeeping." Alex bristled. "It's not that bad." Mithril arched an elegant eyebrow. "There is a half-eaten nutrition bar growing mold on your nightstand." "I've been meaning to clean that up," Alex muttered. "Indeed?" Mithril's tone dripped with sarcasm. "Well, I suppose I should get started then. Where do you keep your cleaning supplies?" Alex blinked. I'm not sure I have any." Mithril pinched the bridge of her nose. "Wonderful. I don't suppose this station has some sort of supply depot where we could procure the necessary items." "Yeah, there's a commissary on level 3. But look, you don't have to start right this second. Why don't you tell me a bit more about yourself first? Where are you from? How'd you end up here?" A flicker of unease passed over Mithril's face before she composed herself. "Oh, you know how it is. Political unrest, economic instability. I simply wished for a fresh start somewhere new." Alex's bullshit detector was pinging loudly, but he decided not to press. For now. "Right. Well, make yourself at home. I've got to finish my shift, but I'll be back in a few hours. Try not to organize me out of house and home while I'm gone." As he headed for the door, Mithril called out, "Alex, thank you again. Truly." He grunted in acknowledgement and left, his mind whirling. What had he gotten himself into? The rest of his shift passed in a blur of routine maintenance and nagging thoughts about his mysterious new roommate. When he finally clocked out and headed back to his quarters, he half expected to find the place ransacked and Mithril long gone. Instead, he walked into a sparkling, clean living space that smelled faintly of citrus. Mithril stood in the center of the room, hands on her hips, looking pleased with herself. "How did you—" Alex trailed off, taking in the transformation. Mithril shrugged. I borrowed a few things from your neighbors. They were quite accommodating once I explained the situation. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of preparing a meal as well. You had some rather sad-looking ration packs in your cupboard, so I improvised. Alex's stomach growled at the mention of food. When was the last time he'd eaten a real meal? You didn't have to do all this. Nonsense. It's the least I could do to repay your kindness. Mithril gestured to the small table where 2 plates sat steaming. Please, sit. As they ate, Alex couldn't help but notice Mithril's impeccable table manners. The way she delicately wielded her utensils spoke of a refined upbringing, not a life of hardship. This is incredible, he said between bites. Where did you learn to cook like this? A shadow passed over Mithril's face. Oh, here and there. One picks up skills when one must fend for oneself. Alex decided to probe a bit. So, you mentioned political unrest earlier. What can you tell me about the current situation in your home system? Mithril's posture stiffened almost imperceptibly. Oh, you know how these things go. Corrupt officials, power-hungry warlords, the usual nonsense. I try not to dwell on such unpleasantness. Her casual dismissal of complex galactic politics raised Alex's suspicions further. Before he could press the issue, a priority alert chimed on his comm unit. Damn, he muttered. Looks like there's some kind of disturbance in the docking bay. I've got to check it out. Mithril's eyes widened with what looked like fear. Is that common? Security issues, I mean. Alex shrugged as he stood. Not really. Probably just some drunk traders getting rowdy. I wouldn't worry about it. He hesitated at the door. You'll be okay here by yourself. Mithril forced a smile. Of course. I'll just finish cleaning up. Be careful out there. As Alex jogged towards the docking bay, his instincts screamed that something was off. The corridor leading to the bay was eerily quiet. He slowed his pace, years of training kicking in as he hugged the wall and moved silently. The sound of raised voices reached him as he neared the entrance. Alex peered around the corner and felt his blood run cold. A group of 5 heavily armed mercenaries were threatening the dock workers, waving around a hollow image that looked suspiciously like Mithril. We know she came through here, a burly Cronin growled. Blue skin, silver hair. Where is she? The terrified worker shook his head. I don't know who you're talking about. Lots of people come through here. The Cronin backhanded the man, sending him sprawling. Wrong answer. Maybe this will jog your memory. He raised his pulse rifle. Without conscious thought, Alex sprang into action. He vaulted over a stack of crates, using the momentum to drive his feet into the Cronin's chest. As the alien staggered back, Alex relieved him of his weapon and fired 2 quick stun blasts at the nearest mercenaries. The remaining 2 opened fire, but Alex was already moving. He dove behind a cargo loader, the smell of ozone filling the air as energy bolts sizzled past. In one fluid motion, he popped up from cover and dropped both assailants with pinpoint headshots. The entire fight had lasted less than 10 seconds. As the echoes of weapons fire faded, Alex became aware of the shocked stares of the dock workers. He cleared his throat awkwardly. You should probably call security. Let them know there was an attempted assault by these gentlemen. I'll just be going now. He beat a hasty retreat, his mind racing. Those weren't ordinary thugs. They were professional hunters, and they were after Mithril. What the hell had he gotten mixed up in? When Alex burst back into his quarters, he found Mithril pacing nervously. Her eyes widened at his disheveled appearance. What happened? Are you all right? Alex fixed her with a hard stare. Cut the act. Who are you really, and why are there mercenaries tearing apart the station looking for you? Mithril's shoulders slumped in defeat. I suppose there's no point in further deception. The truth is... Before she could finish, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A computerized voice announced, Attention, all personnel. Unauthorized vessels detected on approach vector. Battle stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Alex and Mithril locked eyes, a moment of understanding passing between them. Whatever secrets they both held, they were in this together now. "We need to move," Alex said grimly. "I've got a feeling those mercenaries were just the welcoming party." As they raced out of the room, neither of them noticed the small tracking device attached to Mithril's clothing during her cleaning frenzy. It blinked steadily, broadcasting their location to parties unknown. The hunt was on. As alarms blared through Terra 1, Alex grabbed Mithril's arm and pulled her into the corridor. The station shuddered, rocked by distant explosions. "We need to get to the escape pods," Alex shouted over the din. Mithril's eyes widened. "No, we can't leave the station. There are innocent people here." Alex gritted his teeth. The girl had a point, but his instincts screamed at him to get her to safety. "Fine. We'll head to the command center. Maybe we can help coordinate the defense." They raced through chaos-filled hallways, dodging panicked civilians and harried security personnel. Alex's mind whirled. Who were these attackers? How had they found Mithril so quickly? As they rounded a corner, a group of armed intruders materialized. Their armor bore the insignia of the Chrysor Empire, Mithril's supposed homeland. "There she is," one shouted. "Capture the princess." "Princess?" Alex's head snapped towards Mithril, who looked both terrified and resigned. No time for questions. Alex shoved Mithril behind him and charged. Years of honed combat reflexes took over. He disarmed the first attacker with a brutal arm lock, using the man's weapon to take down two more. A spinning kick dispatched the fourth. The last intruder raised his hands in surrender. "Please, don't kill me, Zorak." Alex froze. How did this man know his true identity? Taking advantage of his hesitation, the attacker fumbled for a concealed weapon. Alex's instincts kicked in. He fired without thinking, dropping the man with a well-placed stun blast. Breathing heavily, he turned to find Mithril staring at him in awe. How did you do that?" she whispered. Alex's mind raced. "Lucky shot. Come on, we need to keep moving." As they continued towards the command center, Mithril peppered him with questions. "Where did you learn to fight like that? You're no ordinary technician, are you?" "I could say the same about you, Princess," Alex retorted. Mithril flinched. "It's complicated. I promise I'll explain everything once we're safe." They burst into the command center to find it in disarray. Panicked officers scrambled to respond to multiple crises. "Status report," Alex barked, falling into old command habits. A frazzled lieutenant turned to him. "Who the hell are you two?" His eyes widened in recognition. "Wait, you're—" "Doesn't matter," Alex cut him off. "What's the situation?" The officer swallowed hard. "Multiple Chrysor warships have surrounded the station. They're demanding we hand over some VIP or they'll destroy us. Our shields are failing, and we don't have the firepower to fight back." Alex's mind raced. He glanced at Mithril, who looked stricken with guilt. "Open a channel to the Chrysor flagship," he ordered. "What? But sir—" "Do it." Moments later, the stern face of a Chrysor admiral filled the main view screen. "This is Admiral Vexthor of the Chrysor Empire. Surrender the fugitive princess immediately, or we will reduce your station to atoms." Alex stepped forward. "This is Zorak the Devastator. Perhaps you've heard of me?" The Admiral's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible. Zorak is just a myth. A boogeyman used to scare—" "Oh, I assure you, I'm quite real," Alex interrupted, his voice dropping to a menacing growl. "And I'm currently in possession of your little runaway princess. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to call off your attack and withdraw your ships. In exchange, I won't hunt down every last one of you and turn your skulls into drinking cups. Do we have an understanding?" Admiral Vexthor sputtered in rage, but fear was evident in his eyes. You can't—" "Try me," Alex snarled. A tense moment passed before the Admiral deflated. "Very well. We will withdraw, for now. But this isn't over, Zorak. The Empire does not forgive, and it does not forget. The transmission cut off. Alex turned to find the entire command center staring at him in a mixture of awe and terror. Well, he snapped, don't just stand there. Get those shields back up and prepare for any treachery. As the officers scrambled to obey, Mithril approached him cautiously. You're him, aren't you? The legendary bounty hunter. But why are you protecting me? Alex sighed. It's complicated. Come on, we need to talk, privately. They retreated to a small conference room adjacent to the command center. As soon as the door closed, Mithril rounded on him. Explain. Now. Alex ran a hand through his hair. What do you want to know? Everything. Are you really Zorak the Devastator? Why are you hiding on this backwater station? And why in the name of the Cosmic Serpent are you helping me? Yes, I'm Zorak, or I was. I left that life behind, tried to disappear. As for why I'm helping you, Alex shrugged. I don't know. Maybe I'm tired of running. Maybe I saw something of myself in you. A fellow fugitive. Mithril's eyes softened. I understand, more than you know. She took a deep breath. I suppose it's time for my confession as well. I am indeed Princess Mithril of the Chrysor Empire, but I fled because my uncle, the current emperor, murdered my father and plans to use me as a puppet ruler. Alex whistled low. That's quite a story, Your Highness. Mithril flinched at the title. Please, just Mithril. I've had quite enough of royal treatment. Before Alex could respond, his communicator chirped. He answered to find a familiar, gravelly voice on the other end. Zorak, you old snake. Long time no see. Alex's blood ran cold. Grax, how did you find this frequency? The grizzled info broker chuckled. Please, you think you're the only one with friends in low places? I've got a job for you if you're interested. Very high-profile target. Royal, even. Alex's eyes locked with Mithril's. She shook her head frantically. Sorry, Grax. I'm out of the game. Find someone else. Now. Don't be hasty. The pay is astronomical, and word is you're already in the thick of it. Why not profit from the situation? Alex's mind raced. If he refused outright, Grax would know something was up. But if he played along... I'm listening, he said carefully. Grax launched into the details of the job, capture Princess Mithril of the Chrysor Empire, dead or alive. As he spoke, Alex's fingers flew over his communicator, sending a coded message to an old contact. If anyone could trace Grax's location, it was her. Interesting proposition, Alex said when Grax finished. Let me think it over and get back to you. Don't take too long. This offer has an expiration date. The call disconnected. Mithril looked at him with a mixture of fear and hope. You're not really considering it, are you? Alex shook his head. Of course not. But now we know who's pulling the strings. Your uncle must have hired Grax to coordinate the hunt for you. Mithril slumped in relief. So, what do we do now? Before Alex could answer, alarms blared once again. They rushed back to the command center to find chaos. Report! Alex barked. Sir, multiple ships decloaking all around us. It's the Chrysor fleet. They never left. Alex cursed. Of course, the Admiral wouldn't give up so easily. Shields. Holding for now, but we're massively outgunned. Alex's mind raced. They needed a plan, fast. Suddenly, Mithril gasped. I have an idea, but you're not going to like it. She outlined her desperate gambit. Alex had to admit it was audacious and incredibly dangerous. You're right, he said grimly. I don't like it, but it might be our only shot. As they prepared to put Mithril's plan into action, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. His carefully constructed life of anonymity was crumbling around him. But as he looked at Mithril, this enigmatic princess who had stumbled into his life and turned it upside down, he realized he didn't mind as much as he thought he would. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The command center erupted into frenzied activity as they raced against time. Mithril's plan was bold, perhaps even foolhardy, but it was their best hope for survival. "Are you absolutely sure about this?" Alex asked one last time as they made final preparations. Mithril's eyes blazed with determination. "It's the only way. We have to expose my uncle's treachery to the entire empire. Once the truth is known, his support will crumble." Alex nodded grimly. "All right then, let's make history." As they moved to implement their desperate scheme, neither of them noticed the small, blinking device attached to Mithril's clothing. It continued to broadcast their location, setting the stage for a confrontation that would shake the foundations of the galaxy. As alarms blared throughout Terra 1, Alex and Mithril raced to implement their audacious plan. The station shuddered under the barrage from the Chrysor fleet, its shields weakening with each passing moment. "We need to get to the main communication array," Mithril shouted over the chaos. "From there, we can broadcast the truth to the entire empire." Alex nodded grimly, leading the way through smoke-filled corridors. His combat instincts were on high alert, every shadow potentially concealing an enemy. They burst into the communication hub, startling the technicians inside. "Out!" Alex barked. "Official business." As the confused staff scrambled to obey, Mithril rushed to the main console. Her fingers flew over the controls with surprising expertise. "I thought you were a princess, not a tech wizard," Alex remarked, keeping watch at the door. Mithril smirked. "A girl can have hobbies. Besides, you'd be surprised what you can learn when you're trying to outmaneuver a murderous uncle." Suddenly, the door exploded inward. Alex dove for cover, pulling Mithril down with him as debris rained around them. Through the smoke strode a towering figure in ornate battle armor. "Well, well," a deep voice rumbled. "The prodigal princess returns." Mithril's face paled. Uncle Zorkath. The emperor of the Chrysor Empire surveyed the room with cruel amusement. "Did you really think your little plan would work, child? I have eyes and ears everywhere." He held up a small device, the tracking beacon that had fallen from Mithril's clothing. Alex cursed under his breath. How could they have been so careless? "It's over, Mithril," Zorkath continued. "Come quietly, and I might show mercy to your new friends." His gaze lingered on Alex, a flicker of recognition passing over his features. "Zorak, the Devastator, your reputation precedes you. Perhaps we could come to an arrangement?" Alex's mind raced. They were cornered, outgunned, and out of options. But as he looked at Mithril, saw the determination blazing in her eyes, he knew he couldn't give up. In one fluid motion, Alex drew his concealed blaster and fired. The shot caught Zorkath's shoulder, staggering him. "Run!" Alex shouted to Mithril. "Finish the broadcast!" What followed was a blur of violence and chaos. Alex fought like a man possessed, his legendary skills on full display as he held off Zorkath and his guards. Blaster fire filled the air, mixed with the clash of energy blades and the crackle of failing equipment. Through it all, Mithril worked feverishly at the console, her voice rising above the din as she broadcast her message to the Empire. "People of Chrysor, I am Princess Mithril, rightful heir to the throne. My uncle, Emperor Zorkath, is a murderer and a tyrant. He killed my father, your beloved king, in cold blood. I have proof of his crimes, and I'm transmitting it now. Rise up, reclaim our empire." As the last word left her lips, Mithril looked up to see Alex locked in combat with Zorkath. The two were evenly matched, a whirlwind of lethal strikes and counterattacks. Without hesitation, Mithril grabbed a fallen weapon and joined the fray. Her presence caught Zorkath off guard, allowing Alex to land a decisive blow. The Emperor crumpled to the ground, defeated. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, the communication array crackled to life. Reports flooded in from across the Empire uprisings, defections, chaos spreading like wildfire. Alex and Mithril shared a look of disbelief. They had done it. But their victory was short-lived. The station rocked violently, nearly knocking them off their feet. "The fleet!" Mithril gasped. "They're still attacking!" They raced back to the command center, leaving the unconscious Zorkath to be dealt with by station security. The scene that greeted them was one of utter pandemonium. "Status report," Alex barked. A haggard officer turned to him. "Shields at 12% and falling. We can't take much more of this." Mithril pushed her way to the communication station. "This is Princess Mithril to all Kryzor ships. Stand down immediately. Your emperor has fallen, and I claim my rightful place as ruler of the Empire." Tense moments passed. Then, one by one, the enemy ships ceased fire. The main view screen flickered to life, showing the face of Admiral Vexthor. "Your Highness," he said, bowing his head, "we await your commands." Mithril's shoulders sagged in relief. "Order all ships to stand down and prepare for my arrival. The Empire enters a new era today." As the immediate danger passed, the command center erupted in cheers. In the midst of the celebration, Alex and Mithril found themselves face to face. "We did it," Mithril breathed, her eyes shining with a mixture of exhaustion and elation. "You did it," Alex corrected. "I just provided some muscle." Mithril laughed, the sound bright and clear amidst the chaos. "Oh, is that what you call single-handedly fighting off an emperor and his elite guard?" Their eyes locked, the air between them suddenly charged with unspoken tension. Without thinking, Alex pulled Mithril close and kissed her. It was a fierce, passionate kiss, born of shared danger and newfound trust. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing heavily. "Well," Mithril said, a hint of a smile playing at her lips, "I suppose that's one way to seal an alliance between a bounty hunter and an empress." Alex grinned. "I live to serve, Your Highness." The aftermath of their victory was a whirlwind of activity. Mithril took command of the Kryzor fleet, beginning the process of reforming the Empire from the inside out. Alex found himself by her side, his skills put to use rooting out the last vestiges of Zorkath's corruption. Months passed, and the galaxy slowly adjusted to the new order. The Kryzor Empire, once feared as a conquering force, became a beacon of justice and progress under Mithril's rule. On the eve of her official coronation, Mithril found Alex on a balcony overlooking the capital city. "Credit for your thoughts?" she asked, joining him at the railing. Alex turned to her, drinking in the sight of the woman who had changed his life so dramatically. "Just thinking about how much has changed. A year ago, I was a nobody hiding on a backwater station. Now I'm advising an empress and helping reshape galactic politics." Mithril smiled softly. "Having second thoughts?" "Not for a second." Alex took her hand. "I spent most of my life running from who I was, what I could do. With you, I finally feel like I'm using my skills for something worthwhile." Mithril's eyes shimmered with emotion. "Alex, I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've become more than just my protector or advisor. You're my partner, in every sense of the word." She took a deep breath. "Which is why I wanted to ask you something. Will you marry me?" Alex blinked in surprise. "Isn't that my line?" Mithril laughed. "Please, I'm an empress now. I can propose if I want to." Alex pulled her close. "In that case, how could I refuse? Yes, Mithril, 1,000 times yes." Their kiss was gentler this time, full of promise for the future. The next day, as Mithril was crowned Empress of the Kryzor Empire, Alex stood proudly by her side. As she addressed her people, speaking of a new era of peace and justice, he knew that they had both found what they had been searching for all their lives. The ceremony concluded, and Mithril turned to Alex with a mischievous glint in her eye. "So, husband-to-be, ready for our next adventure?" Alex grinned. "Lead the way, Your Highness. The galaxy won't know what hit it." Hand in hand, the legendary bounty hunter and the alien empress stepped forward into a future full of possibilities. They had found in each other not just love, but a shared purpose, to make the galaxy a better place, one adventure at a time. As they boarded their ship, ready to tackle whatever challenges lay ahead, both Alex and Mithril knew that this was just the beginning of their greatest adventure yet. The end, or perhaps just the start of a new beginning. 10 years had passed since Alex and Mithril's wedding, and the royal palace of the Chrysor Empire echoed with the sounds of laughter and training. In the spacious courtyard, Alex stood watching his twin sons, Zarek and Kael, both 8 years old. Their skin was a pale blue, a perfect blend of their parents' genetics, and their hair shimmered with a metallic silver sheen. But it was their eyes that truly set them apart. One eye the deep violet of their mother, the other the steely gray of their father. "Again!" Alex barked, his voice stern. "Your form is sloppy. An enemy won't give you a second chance." The boys nodded, determination etched on their young faces as they resumed their combat stances. Alex had been training them in the arts of self-defense and strategy since they could walk, passing on the skills that had made him the galaxy's most feared bounty hunter. As the twins sparred, a high-pitched giggle broke through the focused atmosphere. Alex's head snapped around, his expression softening instantly as he saw his 4-year-old daughter, Luna, running towards him. "Daddy!" she squealed, her tiny arms outstretched. Alex scooped her up, his gruff demeanor melting away as he planted a kiss on her forehead. Luna was the spitting image of Mithril, with deep blue skin and sparkling violet eyes, save for a streak of silver in her hair, a mark of her mixed heritage. "Hello, my little starlight," Alex cooed, tickling her sides and eliciting more giggles. "Ahem," a familiar voice called out. Alex turned to see Mithril approaching, an amused smile on her face. "Darling, don't you think you're being a bit harsh on the boys? They're only 8, after all." Alex's brow furrowed slightly. "The galaxy is still a dangerous place, Mithril. They need to be prepared." Mithril placed a gentle hand on his arm. "I know, love, but perhaps we could balance the training with a bit more fun?" As if on cue, Zarek and Kael rushed over, their earlier seriousness forgotten as they clamored for their father's attention. "Dad, can we go flying in the simulator today?" Zarek asked eagerly. "Yeah, you promised to show us how to navigate an asteroid field," Kael chimed in. Alex looked at his family, the mischievous grins of his sons, the adoring gaze of his daughter, and the loving smile of his wife. He felt his resolve soften. All right, he conceded with a chuckle. "I suppose we can take a break from combat training. Let's head to the simulator." As the family made their way inside, Alex couldn't help but marvel at the turn his life had taken. From a lone wolf bounty hunter to a father and royal consort, he had found a purpose and love he never thought possible. And as he watched his children race ahead, eager for their next adventure, Alex knew that he wouldn't have it any other way. The galaxy was still full of challenges, but together they could face anything. As our tale of the legendary bounty hunter and the alien empress comes to a close, dear listener, you might find yourself wondering, is this truly the end of their adventures? Will Alex ever learn to balance his protective instincts with a gentler touch? And more importantly, will the royal family's babysitter ever recover from the trauma of looking after half-human, half-Chrysor children with a penchant for zero-gravity hide-and-seek? Rest assured, the galaxy is vast, and the stories of Alex, Mithril, and their hybrid brood are far from over. Who knows? Perhaps one day you'll hear whispers in a seedy spaceport about the exploits of the universe's most unusual family. A family where diplomatic negotiations are as common as combat training, and where bedtime stories involve tales of daring escapes from imperial prisons. So keep your ears open and your blaster charged. In a universe where ex-bounty hunters can become royal consorts and princesses can lead revolutions, anything is possible. And remember, if you ever find yourself in a tight spot with the law, just claim you're a long-lost relative of the Chrysor royal family. It might not work, but hey, it's worth a shot. Until next time, space adventurers, may your fuel tanks be full, your shield generators be strong, and your family dinners be slightly less chaotic than those in the palace of Empress Mithril and her beloved Zorak the Domesticated.